The Biden administration has reportedly given $40 million of your taxpayer dollars to companies who put conservative and Christian organizations in the same category as militant terror groups and scale them by levels of radicalization.
There's the program called the Targeted Violence and Terrorism Prevention Grant Program. This is supposed to find domestic terrorists in America. There are 80 recipients of money so far. They've received $40 million in grants. You've got Christian Broadcasting. You've got the Republican National Committee. Already you've got more than half of America. DHS awarded them a grant of $358,000 to continue doing it.
Former Michigan gubernatorial candidate Tudor Dixon joins us now. Tudor, we were just talking before this. This is insane. I mean, the groups on this list, it goes from Fox News to the RNC to Christian Broadcasting. I mean, what does this signify to you?
Right. This means that the government can actually take our taxpayer dollars and use them to come out and say that we are terrorists because they have MAGA on that. They have the RNC, so opposing political parties. And then they have Fox News. I mean, think about that. Fox News is simply a news organization that is reporting facts, but they're facts that the Biden administration doesn't like. So they use our money to call us terrorists.
I like the point that Brent made. You're literally calling half of the American public, potentially even more, terrorists. I mean, think about that for a moment. The DHS, Department of Homeland Security, should be focused on, I don't know, that little thing down there at the border, maybe, instead of, demonizing half the country.
Right. As we see people coming in every day that are a threat, and they're trying to hide that and keep that out of the news. In fact, one of the only networks that is actually reporting it is Fox News, and they're calling Fox terrorists, but they're calling the border safe. This is insane.
Well, in fact, the taxpayer dollars are going to fund this is even more crazy. But this is actually pretty interesting, too. New CNN polls show 66% of Americans say a Biden win would be a disaster or a setback for the country. And this one, I couldn't take my eyes off of it. CNN's Jake Tapper couldn't even spin this poll. Watch.
Horrible news. Horrible for Joe Biden in our new CNN poll. While the president leads his Democratic competitors by a huge margin, 2/3 of all of the American people surveyed, 66% of the public, say that a Biden victory would either be a setback or a disaster for the United States.
I think when we first watched that, Todd was referencing the tears that could possibly be coming from his eyes. Would you make it that
right.
way?
It is reminiscent of 2016 when everyone was crying on air, right? But that's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of the Republicans winning in 2024. They saw a huge, I guess I would say, blue win in 2022, and they're like, whoa, if Biden is this bad in the minds of the people, Republicans could actually win in 2024. I think that is good news, but we're going into a primary where you are going to see Republicans get pretty ugly. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out over the next year.
I completely understand that. We spent all yesterday talking about Trump versus DeSantis and the bloodletting that's going to happen there. I get that. That makes total sense in electoral politics. But you have run a campaign. I need you to tell me how, if 66 to 67% of the people who you need to vote for you think that giving you 4 more years would be a disaster or a setback for the country, how the heck can you win?
I really think that they have an incredible ground game. They will hide him. They will go out and give people the messaging they want. But like you said, with these numbers, I'm not sure it can possibly work because people have seen him for 4 years and he's a disaster. So they're worried about it. We're thrilled that these are the numbers. Hopefully we see a change in 24.
I wonder if we're going to see a change in the media and who they're going to be backing too because of this. Tudor Dixon, as always, thank you so much.
And by the way, the last episode of the Tudor Dixon podcast, I thought was resplendent. I thought the guest you had was somebody special.
He was amazing. And he's going to do a lot of work before Memorial Day.
Tudor, thank you.
Thanks, Tudor.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.